Well, good Wednesday morning, warriors. Wendy from News Force. I wanted to jump in with a quick update here on our DUMBs. We have a little bit of action that I wanted to show you. We have twinsies, if you guys know when I talk about them. Two DUMBs that go off at the same time, blowing up two sections of DUMBs, which would be the same exact dumb on both sides. If I put that right, a little early. No tea yet, guys. All right, let's get right over to the map here. And we're going to do a little jaunt over to Saudi Arabia. Right here. So here's Saudi, guys. All right, Saudi Arabia. And just to give you an idea, here's India right here, Afghanistan, Turkestan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, all your stands up in here. And then here is the rim. Let me move it over a little bit of Africa. Africa's been kind of spot checking again. I noticed they're getting active, and they are not all 10 kms. Let's check and see if this one is. Yes, it's a 10 km. So this conglomeration's gonna make me a liar. Okay, let's go ahead and just take a look and pop a few more of these off and see if they should all be 10 kms, because that's all that's left in Africa, guys, is 10 kms, and they are almost finished, which is awesome. All right, back to Saudi. I get so excited I want to move about the cabin. I see we have some action up there in, let's see here, Okasham. Okasham. We'll be taking a look at that in a minute here. Let's get back down here. All right, here we are. Maybe I should have had that tea before I got started this morning. We are looking at this area right here, guys. Take a look at that, okay? And so I'm going to turn it this way because it just gives it a better understanding. So here is what's called the Somalian plate boundary right here, and it cuts off right here. And if you're not familiar with plate tectonics, people who believe the earth is round use plate tectonics. I call it a beltway. All right. Now, I used to describe it as plate tectonics, but I'm not 100% convinced that that is the case. So you'll hear me call them beltways. When I call them beltways, I'm speaking of where two plates come together. See how those arrows are, guys? Okay, they're going both directions, showing which plate is going where, which plate's going where. And then if you click on it, it will tell you the Somalian plate boundary like that. So I call them beltways, guys. So if you hear me say beltways, all right, then you know what I'm talking about. All right. So we have on the Somalian beltway right here, we have these two DUMBs that were blown up. And what is interesting is it was 2 days ago, guys. Let me just switch out my palette here, color. And it was a 10 km 5.1 blast. You guys, that was huge. All right, and it's right on the beltway. Now take a look of why I would call it a twinsie. When you see these things, you can know that they are in the same tunnel and they're blowing up the same tunnel. Because that's not always the case when they're at the same depth. Okay, let's come on over to this one. Pull it apart on the other side of the beltway. All right, let's get a look-see. This one was 6 days ago, and take a look, 10 km at 5.1, right there in that same range. So granted, they were 4 days apart, but you could see, obviously, that they were on the same tunnel there. And then we're going to go right here to the north of that tunnel. And let's just take a look at this one. So again, this was 6 days ago, 10 km, just about at the same time. And it's 4.9 blast. So you can just know these three are somehow connected together. And, it's hard to tell when we're out in the ocean, guys. Let me get rid of that stuff off of there. It's hard to tell how much distance there is, but I just want you guys to get an idea of the distance. So you see how big India is here. It's about the same as this line, this direction. That is how large these tunnels are. When they talk about the tunnel that runs from the Vatican straight into Jerusalem, I believe that one is 1,200 miles long. And so these tunnels, we think we're all that we are on this planet, guys. And we just have the continents that we get to be on, hardly the oceans. So imagine if they're using the oceans underneath the floor and they're using our continents too, how much bigger they are compared to us. It is a very challenging operation for the military to go ahead and try and do this. There are other things that have been man made that are down there that definitely have a lot stronger abilities, a lot better senses, and a lot more senses than us. And that is what our military is protecting us from down underneath there. I believe that's why there hasn't been a lot of pictures and stuff that have come out. The closest I can come to pictures is some of the things that are mixed with everything's mixed with humans, guys. The deep state, absolutely, the Khazarians, the mafia, they absolutely 100% do not do DNA mixing unless humans are in it. That is what they want to be. That's why they keep doing crazy things by like mixing DNA together with pigs, with cows, anything they, with a fly. I've seen them with fly, with a pig face, with the body of a human, and the tail of a reptilian, like that, guys. They were really mixing down there, and they want to be us. So they're trying to do everything they can to be us. And so there's really nothing that they don't do that isn't about us. Identical to Trump derangement syndrome. And that's why I do believe that's why they're using Trump as a figurehead. They're trying to show people how sick it can be when you idolize something. It'll get you in trouble real fast. Yes, even Christianity too. Okay, you must not idolize anything, not even the self, because when you idolize, the ego comes in, guys. Okay, and when that ego comes in, you're already on the drop off, like that. And so what they do is kind of like when you get girlfriends that get in a fight and they hate each other. Okay. The other one is constantly obsessed with knowing what that one's doing. You would think in a normal capacity that it wouldn't be like that, that person would want to just go off and never talk about that person again. But just similar to Trump derangement syndrome, we too have with the deep state and the Khazarian mafia, that they want to be us and they hate us, but they're obsessed with us. Total Trump derangement syndrome on a stick. Kind of like that. Okay, let's just go to the north. Let's turn our map back the way it belongs here. Well, it'd be about like that. Okay, we're going to come on in on these two. These are all connected, guys. You can see what they're doing here. You can watch what they're doing. Once again, 10 km slammer jammer. Woohoo! 5.3. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the 10 kms are the main tunnel systems running throughout, yes, the entire world, even underneath the oceans, guys. And they're really doing a doozy out here off of Saudi. Let's go ahead and just take a look real quick at the other one right next to it. Let's find out if it's a Twinsie. I'm sure it is. Yep, it is. Another 10 km. Guys, they're going nuts with the 10 kms, and it's just so exciting. We're getting out of this mess real fast with what they have going on down there. And I just wanted to say this one to the east of this one, okay, the one we just talked about, that one is new by an hour, guys. So they're working on it. You can see that stretch and what they're up to, okay? I mean, look at how big that is. That's the stretch of all of Saudi, okay? Like that. From here to here. That's just huge. Okay, monstrous, if you can picture it that way. I also see here we have one over in Madagascar. I'm really surprised. We peeled through Madagascar like almost overnight in about a year. It was lit up. You couldn't even read anything. So, guys, once again, they're really killing it with the 10 kms around the world. I'm just wondering if we're not finally getting close to being done here and where we can finally let the earth rest and become a part of itself again. When the earth functions right, so do we, and so do the animals. And I know that our men down there, and our direct energy weapons that blow up these tunnels, I just know they're trying to hurry as quickly as they can so that we can have our beautiful planet back again with its frequency. All right, guys, let's head north. We're going to go north and to the east of Kazakhstan. Here is Kazakhstan right here, guys. And we're headed right to this dumb section right here. Let me just come back out and just see. We are headed to Kazakhstan, just about to the border right here. This is Kazakhstan here. Like that. Okay, guys, there she is. The beauty. You can see there's nothing else around it being blown up. So this was pretty important to be done. I just wonder if it has something to do with down south in Saudi, what we're looking at with those 10 kms. Yes, they can extend that far and they can be working on a section that far from each other. So we have again another 10 km. I'm just going to do a little clap. See there? That was a 5.2. You guys, these are really high, but they're sticking in the same magnitude, 4.9 to 5.2 right in through there. So I would not be surprised if they are connected with those southern tunnels there that they're blowing up in Saudi. All right, let's get a look at our tunnel. Just see, I see a road coming through right here. Let's just go in and take a closer look. KF 12, Highway 12, right there. There we go. Highway 12. It's closest to. Kind of looks like the Five Finger Lakes there, doesn't it? Sort of. All right. Let's go in close to our D.U.M.B. Just across the border of East Kazakhstan region. I do see this is a road, guys, too, right next to it. Let's just follow the road. Yeah, okay. So you can see there's a road that comes this direction. Let's keep following it. It's headed in the direction of our D.U.M.B. See it splitting off right there. Let's come on back out. All right. And there's a road right there. Those are the closest to our D.U.M.B. that I see. Is that water? Yep, I believe that is water, guys. And there's our D.U.M.B. Not a whole lot around it. And I see some more water right up here, too. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, why I make a big deal out of the national forests and water being near these dumps and stuff, it's because these are signature to the places for them to be able to do very nefarious things without getting caught, and they pick certain areas to do it in. Okay, guys, we're going to the north. We're going to take a look at the shaking being reported downtown of Oskman. All right, and as you can see, I do see a riverbed going through. Let me change my color so you guys can see. There we go. Okay. Let's click on a couple of these. All right. Well, we can't read the language. There's not a chance. But generally speaking, it does say light shaking. Let's see if anything's in English. Let's keep clicking. These reports of shaking are all coming from that that 10 km. That was a 5.1 we just looked at. I sure wish I could read that. Generally speaking, though, if you can't read it, guys, go by the color because they change colors. So this is about all of these are considered a medium blast. I do find it interesting, although, that this D.U.M.B is claiming uh, this shaking. I do believe when you see it so condensed like that there was a D.U.M.B blown up. I see it many a times. I go to see a brand new D.U.M and I'll come back an hour later and it will be gone like that. And of course, here's our biggie. This is our Fiesta Resistance. Mwah. This D.U.M was huge, and it was just off the coast, in case you don't know where I'm at. Here is Alaska. Everybody knows they've been working really, really hard on Alaska. And, of course, this tip of Russia. And these two dogs probably will go down in history. I'm still waiting to find out what these knots were that we're looking at. As you can see, it became absolutely explosive. But the main D.U.M that kicked it off is right here, guys. 4 days ago, and it was a 10K hammer. Look at that. 7.4. I don't know about you, but that, whatever it is probably a main of about 5 places around the world. A really main hub, like somebody would say in the United States, do you know where LA is? And they would be like, yes. Okay, well, for D.U.M.Bs, they would use this. Do you know where, I don't know, Ashkawatch is? And they would be like, yeah, I know where that's at. It's a main hub. Who doesn't know where that's at? They speak our language too down there, I'm sure, like that. But look at that explosion. I saw it and caught it live, guys. And there was only maybe 6 D.U.M.Bs, 4 D.U.M.Bs up, but this is what became of it. So it's a new area and they'll be working on it for a little bit, as we always know. All right, let's just scoot across the board, go across our map, and just see if we see. I do see a new one just off the coast. Here's California, guys. Right in through there. And let's just click off and take a look. This was in the last 24 hours. 20 hours ago, of course, in the Northern Pacific. 10 km, 4.3 blast. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's a 10 km festival around the world. Good Lord. Okay, let's just take a peek. And I just want everybody to notice. Do you notice all these lines, guys? Going everywhere, every which way. I mean, do you really find that natural? Just something to ponder. Okay, let's just go in close. So these are natural. Well, as natural as they can be, a third party to something, I should say, because there isn't much you're looking at with the earth, guys. That's natural. The deep state, the Khazarian mafia, evil, Satan, whatever you want to call it, dark, dark to light, like that dark. These guys have been around a very, very long time. Our planet is the same as us in its shape, in its style, everything we are. We do not look the way we should naturally look, nor does the earth. like areas of the earth that are deserts that aren't supposed to be, like the area of Arizona and stuff. That is all supposed to be very plentiful, almost like a rainforest. Forest. Nothing is natural on our planet, guys, and they are slowly working their way back to it. We do have deserts that are finally springing back up water again so it can become itself again. And you can thank the white hats for that, because the changes we're making in the weather for the control we have over HARP, we're using it to try and bring the planet back to what it belongs to. Eventually, here, when we're done fighting this war, HARP will disappear and nobody on this planet will be allowed to have it. It will not be allowed anymore. But for now, we have to have HARP to fight what's left of the deep state. Like that. Okay, let's come on back out here and just keep looking across the board here. I just wanted to bring you in and show you Oklahoma, nice and busy. They're starting to really come on out and pull away from Oklahoma City there. And it looks like it still has stayed pretty busy down there in San Antonio after all of the weather and stuff of flooding those dams out. That needs to be done after they're blown up. They need to all be flooded out for a nice clean, rock and stuff. So we are pretty busy in areas of San Antonio still, guys. Just run you guys across the board. Here's some more action across town. Let's go ahead and come on up. Also, yesterday, I believe it was, let me just check here, 7 days ago in South Carolina, we had a little pop. And if you know what's going on in South Carolina, there's so many things just humanly that are being exposed, and also so many dark things in the ground and other things being exposed there. They're picking up a lot of bad guys. That was a 2.1 blast, guys. Let's go on in close because finally I see that they're putting off. We're coming in on Charleston just to the north in Somerville. I do see that there is some shaking reports. Let's just get a load of where that D.U.M.B is. All right, I just like to look around, guys. All right, so it looks like it's a storage yard, warehouses next to it. Interesting, right? All right. Grandview Drive, guys. They're both Grandview. Oh, yeah, because it circles around. So this is all Grandview Drive here, this circle around. And then it goes into Berlin, Meyer. There you go, right in the parking lot of this interesting, huge facility. If you guys wanted to go on regular maps, you could get yourself a look at what that facility is. It's just not calling it out, but it's pretty large. God, I would hate to find out it's a Hormel plant. Oh, God. Oh, that was terrible what I just said. Okay, let's come on back out, guys. And I think oh, yes, New York. Let's talk about New York. What's going on over here in Jersey? We know there's a lot of action, so we're coming in on Jersey. I get so excited. I just want to zoom right in. Here's your border for Jersey, okay? Comes like this and down and around it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And here is a poof that they did. I'm just looking around. Youngstown. Isn't there a big university there? I can't remember, guys. That's important. These universities are very important to these dumps. Everything ties into these dumps, guys. Everything built around them, everything was all about them. So we have one right here. Let's just get a look. 5 km 2.0 blast, guys. And it's in a conglomeration of trees, the thick of it right in a neighborhood. And I am assuming the rest of these are the same. We have the latest one that just went off 2 days ago. Again, a 5 km with just a little piddle, like somebody lit a firecracker and threw it. No biggie, not a chance anybody was gonna feel that, guys. And let me just get this turned around. As you can see, Canada's been really quiet right now. Why do I think? Because I do believe that with what and we're going to look at the orange screen real quick on the way out, with what we're seeing with the orange screen and the reports of the fake fires and the fireboxes and the six screeners, we can be guaranteed that they're busy above ground right now getting some things done. And that's why you're not seeing a lot of DUMBs being blown up in Canada right now, in my opinion. Look, it's pretty clear, guys, pretty quiet up in Canada for DUMBs. Let's get over to our orange screen quick and get a check of that. Okay, we're over at our orange screen and we kind of got duped out of it because our real orange screen is gone, but I did take photographs about an hour and a half ago. As you can see here, just to the north in Canada, guys, they're really busy. Like I said, that's why you've seen them back way down off those DUMBs. A lot of action in that center. This is just a picture, so it's not the greatest, but you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then right in through here, almost looks like finger legs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens for a total of 6 layers. They are going to town on that area. And up in here, we have some pretty good screens. Almost looks like a heart. Could almost say that's a heart. Saying, we love you, world. We're trying to get things cleaned up. The military's doing an absolutely beautiful job. And this looks almost like an umbilical cord again. If you guys didn't notice the last few times, we had that stretch that goes up into Iceland. Here is the tail. So here is the tippy top of the United States. The coastline runs here, and here is the tail again of that orange screen. Now we're coming in close. This gives you a better idea of how many screens we have there in the center, for a total of, I do believe these should be 6s, guys, not 5s, okay? So I would definitely put these as 6s, because there is 6 screens in there for sure. All right, let's go back and take a look at California. We're going to pop over there. All right, so here we go, guys. San Fran right here. All right, and take a look at that conglomeration. And of course, they're under fireboxes because we're real busy in there. Look at all those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would say there's 7 layers in there, guys. And I'm probably going conservative. It's tough to see, especially since we're not on our main screen map. So they are really active there in the northern part of California, going to town on more catching bad guys like that. If you really believe that they're catching immigrants, illegal immigrants, they are, but not like what you're thinking. The presence of the military is a must in order to catch these guys. So they had to have an excuse for why the military is present. You know how people are. You know, they're like, why are you here? You know, it makes people nervous when they're present. And so I do believe, because we removed all of the illegals back in 2017 for the most part. I know we have a lot of areas where they're still supposedly legally here. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that situation. But when it comes to Nasara Jasara, they're going to want to go back to their countries because that is the place where you'll receive your funding. Okay, so everybody is going to want to get up and get the hell out of our country. They're going to want to go back to their own. Everybody, we all have a large amount of money coming to us to give us so much satisfaction as far as things and medical and health and all of that. A lot of money coming to you that's owed for those birth certificates that we traded our souls for. Our moms and dads did when we were first born, and they didn't even know they were slaving us in. They talk about up there in the concentration camps where they would go ahead and stamp with a tattoo on their arms, their numbers of who they were. You guys, don't feel sorry for them. You have one too. Go into your filing cabinet. It's called a birth certificate, and that is going to come to an end. We, the people, own this planet. We are first. We run this planet. And the deep, dark state that climbed in and infiltrated us and enslaved us. I definitely believe the universe or God or whatever you believe in, your own heart and soul. Okay, that is not the way it was supposed to be here on our planet. This place is for us to relax and have a good time, enjoy, be creative, do things for other people, and just have fun, just live. You know, the slavery is getting ready to go away real soon, guys, and it's very, very, very exciting. Humans are going to live the way they have not lived in thousands of years. And I'm sure that's why the white hats are taking their time introducing everything, especially our 6,000 technologies. And they're busting out with those daily. They are now beginning to show the med beds and how the elitists have been using them all along. If you didn't see that, that was, I believe, yesterday morning. I put that up about you can watch physically them using the med beds. Okay, and then down here in Mexico, guys, there we go. And it's to the north of our little uh, war zone. So you have Mexico City, that's about right here, and we have Guatemala, that's down here. Okay, and so very unusual for them to just have a spot orange screen up. And if you don't know what an orange screen is, it is a screen that they layer inside of the ionosphere, which is inside of the troposphere. Guys, and what it is it protects from direct energy weapons, and they also can use them to bounce direct energy weapons too to their advantage. And so it's a screen. It kind of take a piece of paper and put it on marble, and it slides around all over. You can kind of put it in any different shape, size, anything that you want. And it is made up of nanotechnology, or I'm sorry, I'm getting that wrong. Graphene. Okay, now there's where graphene belongs, not in our bodies. That's where it's being used for the right reasons. Excuse me, I just needed to take a drink. That is when you know they're using it for the right reasons. Graphene's a beautiful thing. It's great when it's used the right way. And this is one of the things that it's used the right way in. Is something like this. It doesn't belong in our bodies, guys, right? You know, like that. So there you go. That is what is going on there. Okay, guys, so that's it for this report. If anything happens today, I'll come on the air and definitely buzz you guys in and keep you up to date. If you guys have any questions, feel free to go on over to News Force Warriors, our chat, and go ahead and hammer it home, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And again, this is what we fight for, our beautiful babies, to protect them. They are number one, and I know no matter who you are, if you're human, you have a place in your heart for our babies. And we will continue to fight underground. We will continue to fight above ground. And we will continue to fight in the air for our children. And if there ever comes a point where they ever try to do this to us again, we will never allow this again. With that, everybody have a good day. Wendy from News Force, over and out.